Welcome. This is your opportunity to take the world less seriously whilst actually realizing that we remain in a state of conflict with ourselves, each other, and planet Earth. The main thing I'm trying to say is, as much as strife of some sort is guaranteed in this experience, we always have the right to laugh, especially at politicians. It's time for the second take.
Win a double trolley dash in our birthday promo while saving on these. 10 kg top score for $112.99. 2-liter original Coca-Cola for only $18.99. 1.5 kg real good mixed chicken for just $64.99. 750-gram Nola mayonnaise at $28.99. And 700 ml all gold tomato sauce, also only $28.99. See the details of our incredible double trolley dash competition at vurmanbrock.com.
France's ambassador to Niger arrived in Paris on Wednesday, around a month after the military junta ordered his expulsion and days after President Emmanuel Macron said the diplomat would be pulled out and French troops withdrawn. The junta had ordered French Ambassador Sylvain Itter to leave the country within 48 hours at the end of August in response to what they described as actions by France that were contrary to the interests of Niger. Now, France at first ignored the order. France is that country that takes long to accept a breakup. At first, Niger was like, look, we broke up at our Independence Day, but you never left the house. You keep doing stuff around the house, even though I just want you out. Our relationship is a one-sided affair. You use me for natural resources and you don't pay rent, so this is over. And France was like, I cannot accept it. Like a meal without gluten, I simply cannot accept it. Then after 2 months of the cold shoulder and meals which increasingly tasted bitter, France apparently finally got the point. Now, the people of Eswatini headed to the polls on Friday for elections despite the fact that political parties are banned. In the last absolute monarchy of Africa, formerly known as Swaziland, all powers are vested in King Mswati III. Elected members of parliament serve as his advisors. So the way I understand it, the king was like, I know you want democracy and the right to decide your own fate, so what I can do is give you the appearance of power without actually giving you power. It is essentially the partner that doesn't want to get married, so he keeps buying promise rings and plastic roses for Valentine's Day. Of course, that's a joke, because King Mswati has more wives than Mswati have democratic rights. South Africa's third largest political party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, yesterday accused Namibian courts of succumbing to political pressure by denying Michael Amushelelo bail. In a statement, EFF accused the Namibian government of political persecution against Amushelelo, the Namibia Economic Freedom Fighters Commissar, who has been in jail since March for leading a march against youth unemployment. They then launched an offensive on President Hage Geingob for alleged criminality and human rights abuses. Referring to the Namibian head of state, the EFF said his role in the Phala Phala saga clearly shows his propensity for criminality and violating domestic and international laws for personal and political interest. Talk about a sharp left. I can imagine the president's team was reading the statement, genuinely curious about EFF's opinion on Amushelelo, then bam, they randomly brought the president into the chat like a bitter ex. Namspective after the break. Welcome to Namspective. This segment is dedicated to finding out how Namibians feel about their country, Africa, and the world. In today's show, Namibian multimedia operator Kaya Amutenya and journalist Irene Marie van der Walt share their opinions on the Amushelelo situation.
I feel like Amushelo's situation is more personal because of things that he have done in the past. But I feel like you shouldn't, they can't keep him forever in jail. He haven't even done anything. Arresting somebody on the 21st of, I understand it was Independence Day, but he was not doing anything wrong. He was he was standing up for people who are unemployed. So I feel like the whole Namibia should come together and stand up for him as well as he did for everyone in this country.
So in terms of Michael Amushelelo, there was a very clear court directive saying that if he were to be involved in any protest action, he would not be granted bail. There is an argument as to saying that that directive wasn't clear enough, saying that Michael Amushelelo is innocent until proven guilty and thus was not involved. But I think the courts have been very clear. I think Michael Amushelelo very much at the forefront of fighting for people who don't have voices, and that is very much needed and appreciated in Namibia at the moment. But there is a system, unfortunately, and there is, justice must prevail in one way or another, and there is just a procedure that must be followed.
Those are their perspectives. Please share yours. When we return, we look at some global stories, because if there is one thing the world deserves from Africa, is to be made fun of. See you soon.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Private Travis King, the U.S. soldier who ran into North Korea in July, is in U.S. custody and heading home after being expelled by North Korea into China, the United States said on Wednesday. Now, Travis King wanted refuge there because of inhumane maltreatment and racial discrimination in the U.S. and the military, which made me wonder if books and television are banned in the military, because how is North Korea your option as a black man running away from racism and maltreatment? Here are a few of characteristics that make up North Korea's approach to human rights. Unlawful or arbitrary killings by the government, forced disappearances, torture and cruel, inhumane and degrading treatment and punishment by government authorities, harsh and life-threatening prison conditions, including in political prison camps, arbitrary arrests and detentions, political prisoners and detainees, transnational repression against individuals in another country, non-existent judicial independence, arbitrary or unlawful interference with privacy, punishment of family members for offenses allegedly committed by an individual, total state control of expression and media through censorship and repression, just to mention a few. To know that and to run to North Korea for refuge is like jumping out of a tree in order to escape a snake just so you can swim with crocodiles. No matter how well you've been trained, you are not safer in those waters. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has apologized after a man who served in a Nazi unit during World War II was honored in Parliament. It is insane that such a thing can happen. So no one did any background checks. Of course, being a Nazi is not something someone puts in their CV, but Canadians are so uptight about their political correctness that this felt like seeing the neo-Nazi band Absurd showing up at a Justin Bieber concert with no one noticing. Okay, so we need a bit of a cleanser because it is very muddy in the international waters. So our heartwarming moment of the week follows the break.
Welkom julle, mijn naam is Brian Munango en ik is jullie aanbieder voor Gooi Kolen. Dit meest donderdagse sportstrip noem. Einde van hierdie programma zal ik en hoe om Frans te praten. Je m'appelle? Je bent?
Le Jean.
Tu as reçu mijn kool.
Is dit nou onderbroek?
Blijf geschakeld, we zien jullie weer vrijdag volgende week. Gooi kool!
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
On a dusty plot in the Red Sea city port of Port Sudan, General Kiddy and Ganja Farmer perform tracks and rap with handheld mics as people in the audience clap, dance and ululate. The founders of the Nuba Mountain Sound Band come from South Kordofan, a southern state long in rebellion against the government, and moved to the capital Khartoum when former President Omar al-Bashir was overthrown during a popular uprising in 2019. This is their story, Reuters reports.
General Kiddy and Ganja Farmer are two musicians from South Kordofan, a southern state long in rebellion against the government. The pair, founders of the Nuba Mountain Sound Band, moved to the capital Khartoum when former President Omar al-Bashir was overthrown during a popular uprising in 2019. Now they found themselves on the move again after war erupted in Khartoum between the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces.
One day, Nuba Mountain Sound Band will tour all of Sudan to talk about love, unity, and to show to the people our diverse traditions and share them together. We want to show the world that this is Sudan. Sudan is not just war. Sudan has diverse traditions and music. But without peace, these things won't happen. We need peace so that we can show the world who we truly are.
The musicians are among more than 5 million people made homeless by the conflict. It has caused a major humanitarian crisis, but allowed new audiences to hear their music. This is Ganja Farmer.
This war introduced to us many people, those who don't belong to my tribe. I got to know many people in Sudan.
Without
the war, I would not have known all this. Our audience listens to our music and it puts them in a good mood. That's the good thing. I benefited a lot.
The band was formed in 2014, partly to promote the distinctive culture of the Nuba Mountains. It also participates in workshops that teach traditional music and dance. Their tracks are sung in Arabic, English, and local Nubian language, often focus on social issues such as the rights of children to have a better future.
Freedom is a state of mind. After the break, we have a look at the TikTok of the week. Now, for all the pressure Africans feel to know any and all things American because of their dominance of media, one would expect that their citizens would know a little more about the African continent. Now, of course, this TikTok is a small sample size, but the humor from Ashwyn Mberi is reminiscent of some conversations you and I have had with our American friends. Enjoy.
Name me 5 countries in Africa.
Oh boy, here we go.
Madagascar.
Madagascar too.
Jesus Christ, on the motorbike. This one thinks African countries are movie titles. Where does she live? Avatar 3?
Samundo.
So basically, these people think movies about Africa are 100% real.
Easy one, Wakanda.
Jesus Christ, on the motorbike. But wait, that means if I tell these people I have vibranium for sale, they will believe me and buy it. I am rich.
Zambolia.
Zambolia, is that Zambia and Somalia's unborn child?
Africa's its own thing.
She is not wrong, but she is also very wrong, if you know what I mean.
There's only 3. I mean, there's only 1 because it's its own place.
Never mind, forget what I said. She is more wrong.
Listen, I don't make the jokes. I just laugh with you. See you after the break.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
In the heart of Africa, the right to protest is the pulse of democracy. It is the voice of the unheard, the hope of the oppressed, and the driving force for change. To stifle this right is to smother the flames of progress. For a nation to thrive, its people must have the liberty to express their grievances, aspirations, and dreams openly. The right to protest is the compass guiding a nation towards a more just and equitable future, where voices converge to build a society that resonates with the symphony of unity and progress. My name is Ashwyn Mberi, and that is The Second Take.